White people do what?
They would crack the slaves with the
They wouldn't
the whips.
do that to slaves.
How do you know? Were you there? Me? Like, how do you know?
Let me help you out with your, okay? Before I kick you out.
How? For why?
You want to have an honest conversation? Let's have an honest conversation. Don't give me the ha ha he he ho. Let's have an honest conversation now.
Okay.
That's what I want. That's what we're here in AP for.
I was trying to chill, y'all. I promise you I was trying to chill. But institutional racism will not let me be great. Be very clear about what we just saw. What we just saw in that video was nothing short of racial and cultural gaslighting. This level of anti-blackness that we are seeing in an AP American history class is in equal parts appalling and unsurprising. Why? Because it happens all the time. We've seen over and over again different school districts engage in exercises where students have been challenged to justify slavery as a means of strengthening their critical thinking skills. Nah, son, that is not it. We are not going for it. But black people in America are the only ethnicity to have this happen. It is akin to asking or challenging whether the Jewish Holocaust actually ever occurred. No one would do that because they know there would be repercussions. But here we have a teacher who is essentially trying to whitewash the institution of American chattel slavery. I promise you, I was trying to chill. The reason I say this is unsurprising because this is not the first time. We have seen over and over again examples where students have been called upon to play slaves. In Texas, a few years ago, you may remember that we saw school districts that tried to change their curriculum to replace slave with worker. The rub here, of course, is that this is in the middle of Black History Month and that it's being taught to an advanced placement class. Think about institutionally how much poisoning is taking place with respect to those people and those minds. Not only did this teacher have the nerve to try to rewrite history, but they went further and tried to actually redefine the word nigger.
The N-word just means ignorant. It doesn't have any other meaning and any other vocabulary other than you are a stupid person.
Get the fuck out of here. Yes, I'm sure that this is what that meant when they said, don't come in this establishment. We just don't want ignorant people. Yes, I'm sure that when these things were written, it was just about being anti-ignorant. Of course, we wanted people who had education. We just didn't care what they looked like. When we have conversations about institutional racism, this is exactly what we mean. These are young people who are sent to have their minds poured into while they're in school by teachers who are supposed to instruct them. Not only is the misinformation they're getting in this example ahistorical, but it also has the potential to affect them psychologically going forward. That's how institutional racism works. Think about the seed that was just planted in those young people's minds and how it serves to further the issue of institutional racism. Those young people go on to be tomorrow's judges, police officers, bosses on jobs, proud boys, and teachers at that. That seed of institutional racism simply keeps the machine going. That's how this functions, and that's why this is so deeply problematic if you still don't get it yet. These things do not happen in a vacuum in American education. So if we're having a conversation about ignorance, if we're really having a conversation about ignorance, if we're really having a conversation about understanding history, this is where these things start. And this is where these seeds are planted, and how they sprout is depending on us. The question is, what are you going to do about it?